Hi, and welcome to Financial Renovations with Petrina. My name is Petrina Turner, and I am a blogger and financial stewardship coach, and I blog about our family's journey towards building and leaving a legacy of faith, family, and finance. Now, it's December and it's the start of the Christmas season, and there are tons of people out in the mall shopping and even online, like me, trying to find the best deals and best sales. But it's Christmas, and this is the time when a lot of people overspend and spend too much and even create more debt. So I wanted to take the time to create a simple video that shows how we create and stick to a Christmas budget. Now, one of the things that we do at the beginning of the year is try to find or discuss ways that we can save for Christmas. So we pre-plan all of this at the beginning of the year so that when we get to the end of the year, we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay for what and just add more money to our credit cards. So one of the things that we did and have done is take out a certain amount or a certain percentage from our paychecks and put it direct deposit into a separate savings account. This account for us, we didn't have a debit card, so didn't want to get tempted to spend the money. We just leave it in there until the end of the year or until we have a certain event or something special that we intended on using it for. But in this case, we're talking about Christmas. So you can take money out or have human resources direct deposit a certain amount of money into a separate savings account. Another thing that we do is we take a certain amount out from either our refund check if we're getting one back, or some type of bonus check that we're going to get. So if we know that come August we get X amount of extra dollars in bonus check, then we will take a certain amount out of that check and put it in that same separate savings account. Again, no debit card, and let it sit there. All right. One thing that I incorporated this year was that I was a part of, I guess, a holiday season arts craft type venue where I was able to bring out my t-shirts and sell it during the holiday season. That was an extra way for us to earn extra money and use it towards Christmas. So these are just three examples of some of the things that we do in order to pre-save for Christmas. We know that Christmas is the same time each year, December 25th. So we want to be prepared in advance so that we won't get caught off guard and end up spending more money. So after you have determined and started saving and have that Christmas money in a separate account, by the time November comes, let's say, for example, that you were able to save $2,800. All right. So you have $2,800 allocated to spend during the holiday seasons. So one of the things that we do is we start to write out each of the expenses that we know we will have during the Christmas season. If we're traveling, we make sure that we write out that we need money for gas. If I know that I'm going to a bigger city that has one of my favorite restaurants, I know that I'm going to want to stop there before we travel back home. So we incorporate or add that expense of eating out. If we want to get any sort of decorations or go ahead and budget how much we're going to spend for each other or our spouse's gift, our children's gifts, our parents' gifts, and our families. We don't give siblings Christmas gifts, but we give our siblings' kids Christmas gifts, our nieces and nephews, and even our godchildren. We also allocate a certain amount for our teachers. We give each one of our sons' teachers a gift. And we also want to always incorporate some type of giving during this Christmas season. So after we have listed each one of our expenses or expenditures that we know we will have during the holiday season, we start assigning each of those expenditures an amount that we think that we are going to spend for each one of those items. So all the way down into Christmas giving, our teachers' gifts, everything. And we add it all up, all of our expenses, and write the total down. And we want to make sure that our allocated amount equals our total expenses. So subtract the two, and that number should be zero. Now, if you have extra money, then you can either one, keep it in your savings account and use it for next year, or two, you can go ahead and add that additional amount to whatever item you would like to add it to. For example, you might want to add more money to Christmas giving, or you might want to add more money to your spouse's gift. Um, However, if you have a negative number, let's say that was a negative 50, you actually written down and that total expense was $2,850. So that means you were over on paper by $50. Then you would just go into one of those expenses and see where you could take that $50 out. All right. So this is what we do when I'm Christmas shopping or when I'm online trying to figure out what I'm going to buy our kids or our parents. I look at this budget and I see how much money we have for each of our expenses. And I try to stick as close to that budget as I possibly can. Let's say if I go over on the children's gift, then I know that I'll tell my husband that we don't have as much for the spouse gifts. Okay. So just make sure that all of this, whatever you plan to spend, that is actually what you actually spent. All right. So I hope this helped. I hope this was a good tutorial as to what we do and how we create our Christmas budget and how we try to stick to our budget. We have it in a separate account. Once that money is spent, that is it. So I hope that this helps and gives you a good visual of what we do in our family as far as Christmas budgeting. Thank you again for watching this video. You can find me at petrinaturner.com. If you go on my website, you can sign up to get our free download, 7 Steps to Building a Financial Legacy, as well as worksheets on budgeting and writing out your expenses. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and now on YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season and Merry Christmas.